The Big Creation. The answer to this question certainly implies the existence of a creator. A former long atheist philosopher, Anthony Flew, announced that he believed in the existence of all elements on this issue. Notoriously, the confession is good. I began by confessing that the Stratton is to be embraced by the contemporary cosmological consensus, for it seems cosmologists are providing a scientific proof that the universe many scientists who finally conditioned themselves to be atheists have admitted the role of an almighty creator in the creation of the universe. This creator must be who has created both matter and time, yet who is independent of both. Well-known astrophysicist Ross has this to say: if time's beginning is concurrent with the beginning of the universe, as the theorem says, then the cause of some entity operating in a dimension completely independent of and pre-existent to the time dimension of the cosmos. It tells us that God is the universe, or is God contained within the universe. Yes, time created by the Almighty Creator, who all these. This Creator is Allah, Lord of the heavens and earth. In truth, the Big Bang caused greater trouble for the materialists than the above questions of Antony Flew. For the Big Bang not only proves that the universe was created out of nothing, but also that it was brought into being in a very distinct and continuous manner. The Big Bang took place with the explosion of the point which contained all the energy of the universe and its in all directions. Out of this matter and energy, there came about a great balance containing galaxies, stars, the sun, the earth, and all other heavens. Moreover, laws were formed called the laws of physics throughout and do not change. The laws merged together did not change at all for a period of 15 million years. Further, laws stand on calculations so scrupulous that even a millimeter variation from current value would result in the destruction of structure and configuration of the universe. All these indicate perfect order for the Big Bang. However, bring about order. All observable explosions disintegrate and destroy a very detailed order after an explosion. We then might conclude that there was a supernatural intervention behind the explosion, and that all pieces dispersed by the explosion had been made to move in a very controlled way. So Boyle, who finally had to accept the Big Bang theory after many years of explained the situation very well. The Big Bang theory holds that a single explosion, as it is, an explosion merely throws matter apart. The Big Bang has mysteriously produced the opposite effect, matter clumping together in the form of doubt. A great order arose with an explosion. It should be accepted that every moment of this explosion of a superior, in other words, was the work of Allah. Another extraordinary order in the universe is the creation of a habitable. The conditions for the formation of a habitable planet are so many complex that it is impossible to think this coincidental. Paul Davies, known professor of theoretical physics, at the end of the calculations he made on the expansion of the universe, this rate is inconsistent. Davis says,
Careful measure puts the rate of expansion very close to a critical value at which it will just escape its own gravity and expand forever. A little slower and the cosmos would collapse. A little faster and the material would have long ago completely dispersed. The Big Bang was not evidently an old bang, but an explosion of exquisitely magnitude.
The famous physicist Stephen states in his book A Brief History of Time that the universe is set on calculated balances more finely tuned than we can see. Hawking reference to the rate of expansion of the universe. The rate of expansion 1 second after the Big Bang and smaller by a part in 100,000 million million. The universe would recollapse before its size.
Davies also explained the unavoidable consequences to be derived from balances and calculations.
It is hard to resist the impression that the present structure of the universe, apparently alterations in the numbers, has been thought of.
Seemingly miraculous numerical values, her fundamental constant, must remain compelling evidence for an element of cosmic design. In relation to the same, an American professor of astronomy, George Greenstein, wrote his book The Chaotic Universe.
As we survey our events, insistently arises that some supernatural agency must be involved.